I am trying to join the group of people who make videos on YouTube and do regular ones. I've thought of it as being something to do like writing. I have created and edited a few videos, but not really of me, just pictures and things. And I have been a teacher, and occasionally I was good at it, and occasionally I put on a good show. So I don't know why it's so difficult. I'm a fix-it guy. I like to fix things. I like to take things apart and put them back together again and have them still work after I put them back together. Yesterday it occurred to me while I was taking apart the shredder that I should have made a video of it. My partner does not seem to have the patience to put in 2 or at most 3 sheets of paper at a time. She wants to take a whole envelope of junk mail and just shove it in. And she did that and got it to the point where it was so clogged that it could not go forwards or backwards. It just shut down, quit completely. So I took the top off. I took out the 8 screws that hold the shell together. And after that, I got the shell apart, and then there were 4 screws that held the actual shredder to the top. I got that off, and then there were 4 more screws so that I could actually separate the shredder enough so that I could get into there with a pair of pliers and pull the paper out. And I managed to get almost everything out. And then I went with some needle nose pliers and got a little bit more. And then I went to put it back together. The reason the shredder gave up working was because the shredder has all these things that are like this. And what had happened was that it forced them apart. You put too much in and it forced it apart. So when I put it back together again and tried to get everything to go back together, it wouldn't work. And I had to use a big C-clamp to get everything to squish back together so that I could put it together and put all the screws in and have everything work correctly. One of the things that makes me a reasonably good repair person is that when you have a shredder costs somewhere around $60. Might be less, might be more, but somewhere around $60. And so for me, I don't mind the idea of taking a shredder that is dead, that what most people would do is they would just throw it away. And what I don't mind is taking it apart, seeing if I can solve the problem, which in this one it was stuff that was jammed in there too hard to get apart, and get it apart, and then be able to put it back together again, plug it in, and have it work. And I saved $60 at least for the time being. And so that's my philosophy on things. I don't mind taking things apart. I don't mind spending half an hour taking something apart and then putting it back together again and then finding out that it isn't going to work anyway. The motor is burnt or something like that. I don't mind trying. And I think that is the philosophy that people have to have, is you have to have the belief that in taking something apart, you learn something. Whether it fixes it or not, you learn something. You learn how this machine goes together. You learn that it isn't as complicated as it seems. So, but the first step in deciding to work on the shredder is unplugging it. Okay? Anytime you're working with electrical things, you have to unplug them. You have to take the batteries out. You have to do whatever it is to make sure that your hand is not going to be the thing that this thing decides to grind up. Okay, so with that, I am going to mount this video as is in YouTube. Thank you very much, and I will pass with that.